welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel for another Vintage Cube draft. This is the Final Fantasy run of the online Vintage Cube. I'm recording this in early July, and it'll be out in mid-August probably, so we're quite a ways away from this being a live thing, but cranking these out weekly has been fun for me. And by weekly, I mean recording 4 or 5 of them in a day and releasing them for months afterwards. And by that, I mean this might be the last Cube draft I ever do. Looking at this pack, Through the Breach is a combo enabler, Force Negation is a combo stopper, Shallow Grave is kind of like a bad Through the Breach, Recurring Nightmare is a bad reanimate, Screaming Nemesis is just a hitter. Of course, there's no Power 9 in the pack, there never has been. I've never opened Power 9 in my life, but that's okay. I think the more interesting thing to do here is Through the Breach, and the safer thing to do is Force of Negation. And Screaming Nemesis has been a high win rate card for me. I'm going to take Through the Breach. Let's have some fun today. Here we've got Tersa, which fits into a red throw cards around and try to kill my opponent kind of strategy. Fire Blast does that as well, but Fire Blast and Through the Breach aren't cards that work together, but Through the Breach and Tersa could be, just sculpting your hand. Emperor of Bones. This is a card that can simulate a Through the Breach situation if I end up in a Breach Reanimator. Both of these want me to have big cards in my deck. Mox Diamond is here. This is the Mox that I always struggled hardest to make work. And I talk about this every time I see this card, but generally a Mox means you can play fewer lands in your deck, but you need lands to turn on Mox Diamond. So you need this to line up in a deck that has a responsible, if not high land count, but also can ramp. I don't know, I've struggled with that card. I'm not considering it for that reason. I'm going to take the Bone Zone. Whoa, what is going on here? This is Pack 3? This must have been the most insane pack in Magic Online history. I'm going to check Twitter later and see if anyone posted a pack with Black Lotus Time Walk and Mana Crypt in it. Like, that's so fascinating. Mana Crypt. What 2 cards would be taken over Mana Crypt? Like, I think Time Walk is the best individual card in the cube to start a draft on. And I guess Black Lotus and Soul Ring are in competition. Yeah, this pack must have been completely bonkers. Either that or 2 people are AFK. I'm obviously taking Mana Crypt. Demonic Tutor, Animate Dead, Metamorphosis Phonetic, Boomby Zooms, all in this pack too. Yeah, this is one of the best packs that maybe there's ever been in the history of Magic. All right, Upheaval is now something I could think about. I have a Mana Crypt. Caracas is a unit of a Magic card, solves a lot of problems. Lotus Petal gets us moving forward. Battle Sphere is a good one too, Through the Breach or Emperor of Bones. But it's not so good that I would take it here. Got Trucial Zealot. Oh, this is so awkward. Screaming Nemesis, Broadside Bombardier, and now Gut. I think there was another one too. There was a Rabble Master, Tersa Light Shatter. Somebody downstream from me is probably in this deck, but I have the ability to cut them from upstream. I think Gut is just the best card in this pack. And if somebody ends up downstream from me getting wrecked, and I have a bad pack too, but they have a bad pack 1 and 3, I think I can live with that. This is the one that steals artifacts. When Yuffie enters, gain control of target non-creature artifact for as long as you control Yuffie, then you may attach an equipment you control to Yuffie. That's a sweet one. Assault Monolith. There is a Zerta going around. If I want to try to go infinite, I could take this. Unlikely anyone's taking the Zerta, unless they saw the Monolith early and spec on it. I'm not really considering Overgrown Tomb. Fabled Passage is fine. Deep Cavern Bat is pretty good, but I think I want to send the signal downstream that red is not available despite what the first 3 packs indicated. Archon of Cruelty. This is one of the best ones to Through the Breach or Emperor of Bones. I'm just going to take this and see if we can make it work. Having a combo angle in your deck is just so exciting. Chandra TOD, another one of the premier things to do with a Mana Crypt in red. Barrogoyf, also a banger. I think Chandra's better. Blightsteel Colossus, a great thing to Through the Breach, but pretty bad to reanimate because it literally doesn't work. Yeah, Barrogoyf and Chandra is interesting. I think I'm going to take the Chandra, though. Legion Extruder. Good with Gut. Suplex, just a removal spell. Not really in the market for a Primeval Titan. Yeah, I guess this deck is just becoming red after passing Broadside Bombardiers. It's a big bummer. I'm probably a really good Tanglewire deck, but there's also a dual land here that gets my Black Splash online. Yeah, I could throw Tanglewires with Gut, and this card is basically 4 Time Walks. All right, I will either cut the black or find another way to cast those spells. Rabblemaster on the wheel, not surprising there. This card is not actually very good, but the Tersa Light Shatter is gone. Stomping Ground, Fanatic. Stomping Ground could open up a green splash, but I already am touching this Reanimator side of things. I'll take the Fanatic. Grace Wrench Goblin is a nice red card. Discard up to 2 cards, draw that many cards. That's a Reanimator enabler, but also Lotus Petal is just right here. I think I'm going to take Lotus Petal. Just try to get ahead, be a really cool, aggressive Tanglewire strategy. I'm going to put Raphaelos in my sideboard. Taiga. All right, well, I passed on the Stomping Ground and then got the better one. Clearly nobody's in Gruul. Territorial Kavu. I won't cut that yet, because I do now have a dual land, and there's a chance, if this is 3/3 or better, I'm usually pretty happy with it. It's also a looter to set up some of the reanimation stuff, if that develops. Okay, I see Fear of Missing Out. I see Vivi or Nitier, who would require me to be in a 4th color. Not interested in that. Flooded Strand is the 2 colors that my deck isn't. Yeah, I think it's Fear of Missing Out, and there's barely even a 2nd card for me here. I guess Arena of Glory I would take on the wheel, but Fear of Missing Out is better. Minsk and Boo. Look at me with my Taiga. Okay, another one of these top non-power cards after getting a top power card 3rd pick, getting a top non-power card 2nd pick, pretty happy with. On the wheel, I'd be hoping for Robber of the Rich to come back my way. Probably not going to be black enough to support Lethal Scheme. Troll of Khazad-dûm could be a clutch fixer in my deck. Jite I would probably play in this deck, but yeah, Minsk and Boo's going in the pile. Slam Dunk. Volcanic Island. That passively turns on Territorial Kavu, but Commercial District is here. That's actually the splash color that I care about. Tarfire. Hullbreacher is a card that I like a lot, but I'm not going to splash blue for it. Wheel of Fortune, Hullbreacher, together in the same pack. Never again shall the 2 meet. Whoever takes one is not going to wheel the other. I'll take this Commercial District. Misty Rainforest, oh my god. Alright, well, I would really like this Death Creator champion, and I'm actually not a bad Vaultborn Tyrant deck either, but Misty Rainforest giving me tying the green splash together. This locks Minsk and Boo as something I get to do in my deck. I was going to shove it in anyway, but this makes it responsible. If I don't get Death Creator champion back, Thornspire Verge likely to come back my way. Very happy with this situation. Now black is looking like a color that I might not play. Wooded Foothills, hello, hello. Agatha Soul Cauldron is a card that I just like. It breaks up some of the most busted stuff that could happen to you in the cube. I'm not a great Dragon's Rage Channeler deck. Woodfall Primus is in the correct colors, and a pretty sweet one to go through the breach. Chromatic Star, good with Gut, and helps you turn on splashes. I hope I get back Soul Cauldron, Primus, or Star out of this pack. I'm not really a fast bond deck, but Braid and Mind Collapse can go anywhere. Sacred Foundry. I can fetch this and passively turn on Territorial Kavu, make it bigger. Scrubland cannot be fetched by either of the fetches I have, unfortunately. I don't need white mana, but a fetchable black to just turn on the Reanimator stuff would be big. Talon Gates can tap for any color if you're willing to pay the iron price for it. I think I just take a Braid here. Nothing wrong with good removal. Ulamog's a sweet one to go through the breach, but that's becoming less and less important to me as the draft goes on. Manamorphose can get my splash on old 39 card deck. Not really playing any of these other things. I have 2 fetches that can get Temple Garden. I want Manamorphose as like the 39 card deck special, or Temple Garden to potentially turn on a white splash. I actually think Temple Garden with these 2 fetch lands is a better piece. Oh my goodness, we just passed Brain Freeze and now here's Underworld Breach. And I'm not getting into that with anybody. Gataxian Probe, 39 card deck, Seasoned Pyromancer. This moves cards around. This sets up Reanimator stuff if I end up doing that. I think that's where I want to be. Bloodbridge Allerger is cool, but it's not as good as CZ Peasy. Arena of Glory on the wheel. We caught it. Right in. Lethal Scheme. Robber. I love Robber the Rich. Let's go. Tarfire. Getting back most of the cards I wanted. Wow, Death Creator Champion and Thornspire Verge. I didn't think I would get the Verge back, but... Alright, Chromatic Star. Whoever took that Tersa Light Shadow from me is now off it seems, because all the red cards just came back around to me. We hooked somebody. Send them 2 or 3 really good cards and then dry up the well. And this is the direction where that would have bit me, and it flowed solid. And now going back the other way, pack 3. I should get everything that I want. What I really want is a Badlands. Just some way to turn on the black through my fetch lands. I already didn't take the Zeotor's Proving Ground. That's gone from the draft. Talent Gates came back around. All right. Technically a black source, not fetchable though. I have Star and Petal if I'm going to play the black cards at all, or if I'm just going to be mono red with Minsk and Boo in it. Pack 3, we've got Dismember, Chainsaw, Fiery Confluence, Gao Feral Youth. If a card left your graveyard this turn, okay. I have Emperor of Bones that can actually turn this on. There's a good chance Gao and or Chainsaw come back to me. I'm taking Fiery Confluence. That's just one of the top-end bangers that red offers. Sneak Attack to go with my Through the Breach that I'm not even convinced I'm playing. Pest Infestation really good. Orcish Bowmaster really good. But I need to support the black before that card kicks in. Alright, Pest Infestation that I'll definitely play, or Bowmaster that I may or may not play. I'd really like to make black work, so I'm going to take the best black card here. Blood Crypt, we did it. Ding, 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 ding. I can fetch this off Foothills, but not off Misty. Magda, I would like. Marsh Flats, you're out of here. Not going to get that one back. But I have to lock this right now. Steam Vent's not helpful. Pyrogoyf, banger. Night's Whisper, Duress, not really where I am. Pyrogoyf, let's go. Fable the Mirror Breaker, one of the best cards I could ask for. That's mana fixing, that's draw fixing. Banned in multiple formats for good reason. Caustic Bronco, I wouldn't mind on the wheel. Probably not playing Amped. Coalition Relic I'd play. Yavimaya, Nethergoyf. I think I'm going to get in the chopper. Firebolt, Summon Brindhilder. Chapter 1, exile the top card of your library. During any turn, you put a lore corner on the saga, you can play that. And then Chapter 2 and 3, when you next cast a creature spell this turn, it gains haste. That card could be pretty sweet. Corpse Dance is another kind of bad Shallow Grave. I'm going to try this new card. Right now, my assessment of this deck is that I'm probably not playing Through the Breach and Archon. Emperor of Bones, Bowmaster, and Metamorphosis Fanatic are all just cards you can play on rate, but this really didn't come together. I have one monster I'd be happy to go Through the Breach with, and one conditional reanimate, or 2 conditional reanimates that can fire it out. Yeah, I think I'm just going to be like mono red Jund with Tanglewire in here. 6-drop, that's pretty powerful. 3-drop, that's also pretty powerful. I think Urson Monstrosity is the best card here. And Once Upon a Time is one that I've been criticized for not respecting correctly. My 3-drops are pretty stacked. I guess I'll take Once Upon a Time. I might not play either of these. Gal Feral Youth and Chainsaw. I could try the new card, or go with the tried and true removal spell that's also good with Gut that I know is going to work. I think with Emperor of Bones and Metamorphosis Fanatic, trying to get Gao actually triggering sounds like fun. I'm in. Fire Cove, Insane Wrath. My brain didn't even register this the first time around. I hate this frame so much. Pyrokinesis very good. Fire Covenant's better. We got Magda back. Can I play Sephiroth? Is that better than Magda? I only have the one dual land and Chromatic Star to actually play black spells. I think I'd rather have Magda. Carnage Interpreter, we'll take it. Not playing any of these. I'll put Yuna's Decision in my sideboard. Sunbaked Canyon. That could end up as just like a basic mountain that draws a card in my deck, even if I'm not playing white. Which I'm not, because I have all the cards I'm going to have. Alright, I've got 30 cards here. I'm very comfortable with the green splash. I have 2 green fetches and 3 green dual lands, and then Talon Gates that can filter as well. Both my fetches can get basic forest. I'll probably put 1 forest in this deck. The black cards, I have Blood Crypt that can get got by Wooded Foothills, technically Talon Gates. And then I have a bunch of sources of treasures. Magda, Fable. I guess by a bunch, I mean a couple. My deck's got a pretty nice top end, so I don't think I want Carnage Interpreter. And Once Upon a Time is good at finding stuff, but my deck's full of good stuff and it's all replaceable. Like, I like Once Upon a Time if you're trying to find a monster for your show and tell, or trying to put together Dark Depths combo or something, but all my cards are basically the same, and I'm pretty good at throwing them around between Seasoned Pyromancer, Fable, just all those sort of things. Territorial Kavu moves cards around. I'm very into the Tangle Wire. This is back in the cube. It wasn't in previous iterations for a while. This one is a triumphant return, and I think I'm quite a good deck for it. Is this Black Splash just reckless? I mean, these cards are cool, but and I'm playing Bowmaster. That one just stands on its own, but Fnatic and Bone Zone, if I just focus on good mana and curving out, and Gao gets a lot worse if Emperor of Bones is out. If a card left my graveyard this turn, how can I do that? Territorial Kavu can exile my own graveyard. Seasoned Pyromancer can exile itself. Yeah, without Emperor of Bones, that's not really a thing that happens. I can cast Firebolt with Flashback. Alright, Gao. These 2 are a package, unfortunately. Or these 3, because Metamorphosis Fnatic also triggers Gao. Fire Covenant in the sideboard I'm aware of as a good black card that I don't mind bringing in on the splash if my opponent is creature heavy. I want one more cut here, I think, and I'm probably looking at just one of the Shocks or the Abrade. I think Tarfire, though, that is a kindred for Pyrogoyf. Is that worth more than Flashback? I think Abrade does enough that it's enough better that that's not in consideration. Alright, I don't think I need Kindred for Pyrogoyf. 7 mountains, 1 forest. This is a lot of mana. It's 16 lands with Mana Crypt and Petal. I think that's okay, though. I have 3s and 4s are what I'm trying to do. Do I want this Sunbaked Canyon? It hurts me for mana, but it can turn into a card. I think I could just turn a mountain into Sunbaked Canyon and not feel bad about that. Okay, there it is. The pack 1 pick went through the breach in the sideboard, and the inexplicable pick 3 Mana Crypt and super late Minskin Boo. I'm in. Let's do it. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 1. I'm going to keep my hand. As much as I'd like a Mana Crypt, I'm not going to mulligan into it. This Wooded Foothills is a little tricky because I'd love to get my tapped Blood Crypt online, but I also have more green cards than I do black. Sheldock Isle, sweet. Love that card. Okay, now I can get Blood Crypt and not feel bad about it. It will cost me damage, because I am going to play Smuggler's Copter here. But getting my mana under me makes a lot of sense. Then next turn I can FOMO, Rummage, attack with Copter, loot, and my hand might look totally different. Ooh, a Mox. We got a Fancy Pants over there. Saheeli. Ooh, alright. Fable's probably better than FOMO. I'm going to play Arena and play Fable. Crew my Copter. Get in the chopper. Attack Saheeli. Work on that. I would like to draw and discard a card. Ooh, I like that card. Discard Talon Gates. And let's try to just bash their skull in with this handful of 4-drops. Ridiculous Archive. Kept the card. I'm a little worried. The Sheldock is an investment in the future. Saheeli's an investment in the future. We've got a Nettlecyst that arrives as 3/3 creature. Ooh. What do we think about ninjutsu? I get to steal and then equip the Nettle Cyst. I think I'm actually just going to keep my handful of cards here. Okay, do not loot, which should terrify my opponent. And am I going to loot away Fear of Missing Out? I could also Fiery Confluence and just kill all this shit. I think stealing the Nettle Cyst is so much funnier, though. And funny is how I choose the plays I'm going to make in a game of Magic. I don't get to kill Saheeli, though, if I steal Nettle Cyst. But I also don't care if that's true. Okay. I'm going to crew the Copter and attack my opponent's life points directly. I will loot, discard Mountain. No blocks. Ninjutsu. Oh, when it enters. I thought it was when it hits. Got by the new card. I could have killed Saheeli here. Big miss. It's okay. Alright, I could play FOMO now and loot away the Copter. I think I want to do that. It's done its job. 6/6. Awesome. Coalition Relic makes a servo. Fiery Confluence dealing 1 to each creature is my exit strategy for this game. They might genuinely just die next turn. I have 2 card types in my graveyard. Confluence would make 3. I don't know what my path to Delirium here is. Yep, when Yuffie enters, blew it. Right, Soporific Springs tap, 2 cards left. Any counterspell's bad, of course. I could play around Miscalculation and Spell Pierce at least. I'll do that. Fiery Confluence, 1 to each creature and 4 to my opponents. Or do I want to destroy Coalition Relic? How much damage do I have? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, yeah, going face here actually presents lethal. Ka-chow. Am I getting mana drained? No. Good news. Attack my opponent with all creatures. I get a treasure, which makes Yuffie bigger. And we're out of there. Sick. Okay, a small misplay around a card that I've just read for the first time. But a pretty smooth beating just using our powerful cards that the deck contains. Oh, Fire Cove can sweep up a wall of 1/1 servos. But that's just 1 card in the deck. And Saheeli wants you to have more spells in your deck, not more creatures. So if they don't have exactly Saheeli, or if I kill them so fast it doesn't matter. In Brynhildr is a 2/1, which is pretty bad against servos. Tanglewire is kind of bad against servos. Just talking about servos nonstop here. I think on the draw I'm going to cut Tanglewire and put in Fire Cuff. We saw Mox and the ability to go wide with permanents. Tanglewire might betray me. Speaking of betrayals, I will keep. This is a turn 1 Yuffie. I hope they have a Mox or a Nettle Cyst or something. A Mox! 2 of them. Settle down over there. Soul Guide Lantern. I could have that too. Could have it all. Okay, Wooded Foothills, Mana Crypt. I too have a power card, and it's the same as your 2 power cards added together. Yeah, that's a good card to counter. Alright, good call. I will pass the turn. They get 0 mana, but they do slow me down. Mana drain triggers for 0. Mox Opal. Their deck is definitely powerful. Everflowing Chalice for 2. Okay, so they're all in here. I am going to fetch the Blood Crypt because Bowmaster's in my hand. I'll figure out this other shit later. Good chance they just crack Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card in the end step. I'm going to hold up Bowmaster, because if they have a Time Twister or something, this is the best thing I can do. Yep, there's the Soul Guide Lantern. Bowmaster you. Just make it hurt wherever I can. The Bowmaster also gives me something to ninjutsu Yuffie if I miss on a land. Oh no, there's a lot of mana. Don't play Urza. Don't play Urza. Phyrexian Metamorph, that's annoying too. And this steals non-creature artifacts, so I can't steal the Bowmaster. I can steal the Mox Ruby and kill Bowmaster though, or stealing Everflowing Chalice basically gives me my Mana Crypt back. Alright, I'll fetch Forest. Play Yuffie. I'd like this Chalice. I'm not going to equip. Alright, they didn't tap it in response, that's lucky. Now I get to play Chopper as well. And push my damages. Yeah, this card's dope. Oh god. Alright, Nettle Cyst. I was worried that that would have been Time Twister or Wheel of Fortune. Equipping immediately to their Bowmaster. In for 6. I accept. The race is on. Minsk and Boo. Don't mind if I minsk and do. Deck's full of really good cards. Jack up the boo. This is 4, 7, 8, 9. Do I need to firebolt the Orc army? Because I take 1 if I do that, and it pushes 2 damage through. If they block Yuffie, it's 4, 5, 6. It's still... They're still dead in 2 hits. Alright, I'm going to save my life total. They didn't block at all. Fascinating. Alright, this is the same 1 damage either way. Though it could be 2 to the face, which is starting to add up. Alright, I'm going to pass and hope that they don't draw Time Twister. We got the GGs. That was a slugfest. My deck seems really well positioned against their deck, though. I mean, all this power, and I have the Yuffie, the Mana Crypt, the Bowmaster. I feel fortunate to get past whatever this is, because they're doing basically what I want to do in Cube, if I get to do whatever I want.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 2. I have a turn 1 Territorial Kavu thanks to Chromatic Star. I'll keep. Okay, so Temple Garden. I think I should play Mana Crypt first and cycle a red through Chromatic Star, just in case I draw something I'd rather play. I do like that card. I'll play that next turn. I think the 2 life is worth it to have a slightly bigger Kavu. And then next turn it'll be attacking as a 3/3, and I can turn Mana Crypt into a Spooky Skeleton. It's a lot of damage coming fast. This is literally the reason Temple Garden's in the deck, is to make Territorial Kavu bigger. JVP. 1 my flip. Ooh. Well, Fable's really stupid. Okay. Mountain. I'm going to attack with Kavu first and loot. Discard a card if you do draw a card. Don't need this forest anymore. There's Yuffie. Love that. Alright, Fable sets up more powerful guts moving forward, because I can sack the treasure every combat. And Wood of Foothills can still get Blood Crypt, which gives me my full power 4/4 Territorial Kavu. That's as big as it can get. I don't have an island. Ooh, Teferi's pretty good. Bouncing the Shaman. Alright. Gotcha's got a little worse. Fable's still busted, though. 1 my flip. Undefeated in flips. I'm going to discard the 2 lands that aren't Wood of Foothills. Robert. J. Richard. Alright, I can rob their riches and hit them with Gut here. And make Kavu a 4/4. I like all those things. Blood Crypt. Mono red domain. Robber of the rich. I guess I should have played Gut first to play around Daze. But playing Robber is better against Force. Alright, they all just resolved, so we're good. Okay, attack. Opponent with all creatures. I don't think I care about Teferi. Or whenever this attacks, defending player. Okay, so I'm going to send Robber at Teferi and Kavu at opponent. Discard, draw. Right, Robber of the Rich deals first. Lightning Bolt. I like that card. I'm going to discard this mountain and draw a card. And then I'm going to fling Mana Crypt into a Spooky Skeleton. And it's going to enter attacking my opponent, not Teferi. Right, there's just looting with Jace mid-combat. Discarded a mountain. Teferi's dead. They're at 8. Okay, that Lightning Bolt I can cast any turn that I've attacked with a rogue. My only rogue is the Robber itself. So I hope it doesn't die, because I'd really like to cast Lightning Bolt this game. Right, they're showing Wrath of God mana, which I don't like. Alright, didn't find what they wanted. Jace would have flipped there, but I guess it didn't matter. Yeah, just beat the living crap out of an opponent with a Mana Crypt fueled mono red hand. They do seem kind of weak to Tangle Wire. I like that. Yeah, I think my main deck is just my deck. I didn't really see anything to talk me out of it. On the draw, of course, because that's how winning works. I'm going to keep... Got the Brynhilder. There's a chance for this one. This also being an enchantment creature gives me 2 types when the saga runs its course for FOMO. I like that. Oh, sick. Commercial District. Getting paid. The tech land's looking good. Oh, Mana Crypt on top of my deck. Yeah, I'll put that on top, and I'll cast both these cards next turn. Not bad. End step Sacred Foundry. How sick would it be hitting Mana Crypt with Brynhildr? Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. Okay. You may play that card. All right. Mana Crypt. I'm not playing around. Mana Leak with that. I'm going to play the Brynhildr first before I even play my land. This gives me more hits here. Oh, it got reprieved. It'd be a shame if I just cast it again. Okay, Seasoned Pyromancer. I can play that next turn unless they kill this. I can play that any turn where a lore counter was placed on this card, which is the next 2 turns it exists, but if they kill this, then lore counters won't be put on it again. Pretty cool dynamic gameplay there. I would really like a Seasoned Pyromancer. Move some of these lands around. Oust. All right, I've been ousted. And my Seasoned Pyromancer goes with it. Even when I redraw that, the game will think it's a different card. That's just how the rules work. Big peasy, huh? Well, playing that now doesn't seem that important. All right, I'm going to play Fear of Missing Out and loot away a land and hope to hit a spell. Oh, right, I'm hitting Brynhildr. I already knew that was there. That's so lucky. It's so lucky I hit a spell. Temple Garden. Okay, I made my land drop already. Didn't have to do that, but it happened. So that's a card I might lose out on, just for no reason. But now if they attack, if they have removal and use it on Brynhildr instead of FOMO, I think I'm okay with that. If Brynhildr gives Pyrogoyf haste next turn, I don't have any reach or flying. They're going to get a loot out of this. Discarded a mountain. JVP is back. A lot of looting going on over there. 1 my Crypt flip. Robber the Rich, cool. That might draw out a counterspell, which is pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to play Robber first, which gains haste. It has double haste, which means it can attack me. And yeah, I'll play Temple Garden. Just cash in the card advantage. Oh no, it's the next one. Wow. That actually mattered. Shit. Yeah, it's the next creature, not all creatures. All right, so I'm missing 3 damage off Pyrogoyf here because of my bad sequencing. Though I was also sequencing to try to draw out a counter. I'm not going to justify a bad play by explaining why. It might be okay, though. I definitely would have preferred to attack for 4 this turn, than not. All right, Robber gets to steal something. Got an Inspiring Vantage. Not the best. Brynhildr dies next turn, which puts 2 more card types in my graveyard. Pyrogoyf out of here. I'll take the ramp. I don't need another forest. I'm kind of running out of juice here. If they can get their hand low, that Robber doesn't find extra cards. But I can get Talon Gates out of my hand by spending 4 mana. I could go land and then zoot in Talon Gates. My Bombardiers. We're playing Crosspod, so this is not my Bombardiers, but I am sad I don't have one of those. And if they want to throw Malcolm to kill Robber, I guess that's okay with me. No, that's so freaking good. Now they get to kill my whole board basically for free. Shit. All right, yeah, that's a nightmare. All right, I need a big draw right now. All right, I'll play Smuggler's Copter. And I'm going to zap in Talon Gates to phase out Broadside on their turn. Do I want this Misty in my hand? I have some things that I think I'd rather play it out. Like, I do have a number of loots and rummages in my deck, including the Smuggler's Copter that's literally in my hand. Shit, I should not have played this Misty. All right, I'm spiraling out. Got to tighten up. Yeah, this Mystery Force should be in my hand to maximize Smuggler's Copter. All right, phase out Broadside. They've got 1 card in hand. Malcolm goes off next turn. Up to 3. Firebolt would be a great draw. Just kill both their creatures. I've got plenty of mana. There's only 1 fetchable left for this Misty Rainforest in my deck. I better... Or no, I have Taiga. I have Taiga and Forest. Okay. There's 2 left. But I'm still going to fetch it. Discarded Occult Epiphany. That's scary. That card seems really good here. Oh, the old 2nd main Death Greeter. So they drew that off Malcolm. Luckily, they can't buff the Broadside. But they do have a 3/2 double strike now. I'm fetching the Taiga just to maximize draws here. Need something really good. 3/3 creature. That's not good enough. All right, I'm dead. If I hadn't played the Misty, I would be able to play Kavu, Crewcopter, see another card here. Yeah, that Broadside turn was insane for them. And that's why you play cards like Legion Extruder when you have access to that. All right, Tarfire and Fire Covenant coming in is keeping that pressure off. Does my deck actually need or want Lotus Petal? Maybe not. All right, Lotus Petal. The Brynhildr we did have quite a game around. Is Magda the worst card yet? Yuffie, did we see anything that Yuffie takes? We saw Legion Extruder. There's at least one target for this. I think this is kind of mid, though. All right, this is what I'm doing. Upping my creature removal. We basically only saw Jace Friends Prodigy game 1, and then we saw a ton of creatures game 2. I'll keep this. This is a quick robber of the rich. Start robbing those riches. Oslet Pride, Jesus. All right, well, I will be dealing with that instead of doing anything else. Firebolt. They're leaving mana up. We've seen Path to Exile. We've seen Reprieve. I'm going to crack Chromatic Star for a red. Just trying to hit my land drop. Not possible. For Robber. It's in. Is it alive? Malcolm. All right, so that levels out the hand sizes, so I don't actually get anything there. I can deal with Malcolm this game. It won't go completely off again. This creature also has reach if Malcolm becomes a concern. But I think if I'm blocking with Robber, I'm losing. But if I'm missing land drops, that's not great either. We'll see if the Sunbaked Canyon burns me, because we are in a little bit of a low resources damage race here. And this could just be a basic mountain for my deck. Discarded Portable Hole. Alright, so they're not worried about Robber. I drew a land. Magic's easy. Wooded Foothills. Abrade Malcolm. Do I want to be this aggressive? I don't think that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to play Brynhildr. This gets my hand lower than theirs while actually advancing my plan. Remand. Alright, so they have Remand and Reprieve in their deck. I think I kind of want to do Park Robber and move into the control game here. I don't really want to be playing control with my deck, but my opponent does have some tempo stuff going on. If I can make them spend mana to deal with Robber on their turn, that clears the way for things like Pyrogoyf and Rabblemaster. Legion Extruder, that'll do it. Alright, my Legion has been extruded. Another loot. Dumping Oust. I am going to fetch the Blood Crypt here. Or no, Commercial District's better. Yeah, alright. Any card other than Orcish Bowmaster here is fine. I actually don't want this because I want lands. If I can double spell, I can get out of this a lot better. Oh, that Tangle Wire sucks here. Oh no. Alright. I guess I'll play Brynhildr again. Try to spike the land for a Abrade. We're in. Trigger. Mountain. Sick. Okay. Abrade is an instant. I can play that whenever I need to. This is a terrible Tangle Wire. Came up way too late. Our Commando. I'm going to Abrade Malcolm now. And Cathar Commando can sack to kill Brynhildr, but that's fine. I'll also just block if they attack. Alright, block. 2-1 trades for 3-1. Mine drew a card. Yours didn't. 5 mana. Scary number. This is like Teferi. Othari would have happened to pre-combat. Born Oculus. Alright, that still somehow dies to Pyrogoyf, despite exiling 6 cards from their graveyard, because I have all 6 myself. Alright, please don't have a counterspell right now. This is everything. No! I've been lied to. No more. Alright, I think we've lost. Missing that early land drop was really tough. The 2-lander with Chromatic Star and Brynhildr to dig, and just getting punished. And I've taken a 3 or 4 from Sunbaked Canyon. Sweet tech, though. Old Jeskai tempo. Love it. Got my ass. On to the next round.
The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with The Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Receivables has it at youtube.com/thereceivables.
I'm on the draw in the final round, a positive record on the line. I will keep this hand with 3 lands and some stuff to do. It's now going to have less to do. I don't know anything about their deck. Maybe they care about Chandra, maybe they care about Legion Extruder. We'll see. Pyroglyph is the concern. Pyroglyph's also the biggest creature I had. Holy smokes. Alright, well, there's that card. I'm going to fetch for Taiga and just play Deathgreater Champion as a 3/2 double strike. Alright, back it up. Only one target. Pass the turn. And see if I'm going to get combo reanimated here. Like if they reanimate my Pyroglyph, that can kill Deathgreater Champion. Cycling Troll, okay. Getting Xander's Lounge. Oh, bad news, opponent. Here come the beats. Won the flip. Gut. Wow, alright, that's good. Arena of Glory, Chandra, plus Chandra for mana, play Legion Extruder, and then I'm going to hit them with a hasty gut next turn and throw Legion Extruder as a spooky skeleton. Well, they better combo kill me, because I'm going nuts otherwise. Turns out Mana Crypt, when you just start the game on turn 3. Blood Tithe Harvester. A small punish for that aggressive use of Legion Extruder, but I think it's going to be worth it. Because I have the Talon Gates as well. Alright, I'm going to play Talon Gates and phase out their pal. That's out of here. I'm going to plus Chandra for a card. See what we hit. Seasoned Pyromancer. That is not actually that good. I'm going to say no to deal the damage. And then Arena of Glory for haste. Got True Soul Zealot. Yep, the old Mana Crypt turn 3 Goldfish. And drawing Mana Crypt is good. I should do that more. All right, I'm going to cut Tangle Wire on the draw and add Tar Fire. We saw at least one thing worth tarring and firing. That's the only change I'm going to make for now. I don't know how combo-y they are, if like Fire Covenant's actually going to be good. They could just be Reanimator. This hand's great. There's no Mana Crypt, but there's Perfect Mana. The Epicure. It's multiple bloods sighted. I'm going to fetch Taiga and play my Chromatic Star. Taiga King. Bowmaster does just kill Epicure straight up. That's a nice exchange. If I don't get loot reanimated. I'm going to shock in Blood Crypt and just pass, because if they activate their blood, that's extra juice from the Bowmaster. Though it is suspicious that I did this. Xander's Lounge. Didn't blood. How much damage do I want to take from this thing? I think 0. Or 0 more. They can blood in response if they don't want to get got by this. Or if what they're doing with the blood is so powerful, it might not matter. Blood confirmed, discarded a swamp. Alright, that's good. It does fix their hand a little, but at least they didn't discard Archon of Cruelty. They might have liked to save that to a point where it set up a combo. We're not having that. Ooh, they have something. It's just some removal spell. I'd be okay with that. Sheoldred's Edict. Okay, you got me. Alright, we forced a tap out on their turn. I get to jam Rabblemaster or Minsk and Boo. Alright, Lotus Petal finally showing up in a game, and it's a big time to show up. Minsk and Boo. Now I'm not even that scared of a Reanimator. I feel like Archon of Cruelty is obviously still good here. That card's always good. But unless it has haste, I just sack my Orc army and continue the grim work of tearing them apart with Minsk and Boo. Shallow Grave, putting Voltaire and Epicure into play, sure. Just emergency blood. Deciding if they want to play the game anymore. Currency Converter, alright. Deal 1 to Minsk and Boo. Okay, and they didn't pitch a Fury, which was the last thing that I think I really cared about there. Got... so this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're not quite dead to Gut, but it's still really good. Gut. Gas up the hamster. Attack, sack the Chromatic Star into a Spooky Skeleton, which also draws a card. Hit my land drop. Oh, that was the 2 damage I needed to win. Alright, pass. I'm all in. Can you deal 12 to me right now? We got the GG. Sweet. Yeah, this deck was awesome. I'm not sure about the Tangle Wire. Like, there's spots where if I Mana Crypt, play literally anything, then turn 2 Tanglewire, the game probably ends, but there were also spots where I drew it late when my opponent was ahead and I couldn't cast it. Maybe that should have just been something else, but this seems like the deck for it if there is one. The Sunbaked Canyon, I never drew a card off it in this game, but it did Lightning Bolt me in a matchup where I was damage racing. In this particular set of 3 games, it would have been better as a mountain, but I don't know if you play 20, 30 matches with this deck, where does it balance out? And that's the cool thing about draft. You only get 3 matches, and then it's gone. We'll never know. Obviously, I'm a genius for getting past a Mana Crypt, pack 1, pick 3, and then the deck just sort of fell in after that. Yeah, another aggressive red deck, another good showing. Not a lot to say about this one. Everyone, thanks for watching what may or may not be my last cube draft ever. Come back next week for the next cube draft. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.